Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm one of your hosts for tonight, Jake, and with me as always, he's the Stream King, he's the Far Cry guy, he's the man who made Cry Devil, and he is the man with the calendar. You might call him Calendar Man. He's not a criminal though, Steven.
Don't call me that. That's. Can I just say that I was going to say something about this before we started, but I figured it'd be funny to save this thought for when we started the stream.
I love it when you save thoughts for the stream.
Yeah. You said we were talking about something, and I won't even bother to add the context because you don't need it.
Who needs context? Isn't important,
right? But you said those will bite you in the ass before you can blink, and that's just really funny to me because it's like the thought of if something's gonna bite you in the ass, it's gonna be you're gonna get attacked from behind. So why is that? It's probably going to be a sneak attack anyway, so is that impressive?
Oh man, yeah, like blinking has nothing to do with
it. Has nothing to
bite
do
you
with
in
that.
the ass, but I mean, hey, whatever works. Whatever works. Welcome to Chortlecast, everybody. This is the official podcast of Chortle Games. We talk about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. And I'm so close, Steven, to just changing that to the show where we talk about whatever the hell we think about talking about, just skipping the rest of it because I feel like we're all over the place nowadays. But anyway, Clifford Longhead, I'd like to let you know that yes, you were first. So congratulations. You can take that to the bank.
Although funny enough,
they won't give you anything, but
funny
you can
enough,
take it.
Your comment saying first didn't come through first.
He had to get it in there. You know what I mean? His first comment was just
you
KK.
Beat yourself.
He had
to the first.
Well, you know how you got to move fast on these kind of things. You got to get in and tap. You got to hit. I'm just glad he put KK, which can be understood as like KK. Like, all right, okay, that's good. Yeah, whatever. Like KK, that's at least understandable. He could have just been like FF, RF. Like he could have just whatever, and it'd been nothing. But he at least made a little bit of sense, so I can congratulate you there. Although I will say you don't have to move with that kind of speed for us. You can pretty much get in pretty quick. What's up? Also, what's up, Austin? Thanks for tuning in. We got a great show for you tonight, guys. We are going to be talking. We're gonna take a I think I called it a timeout earlier, a huddle. We're gonna huddle up. It's the bottom of the ninth. We're gonna do some seventh inning stretches, and we're gonna look at the games that are coming out over the next couple months, just kind of talking about it. What are we looking forward to? What are we playing next? We just kind of got out of like a big crazy season. We're in we've been in like a nice lull. I'm so glad I got into Elden Ring because otherwise I don't know what I'd be playing. And I already have a backlog of things planned for like what I'm going to hit before the like more things start coming out. So we'll that's kind of what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to get into. We're going to go through a whole list. We got a bunch of sources here. Obviously, if you have a game you're looking forward to that we may miss, feel free to drop it in, bring it up to our attention as well. But yeah, anyway, Steven, you sounded like you were about to say something there.
I was. It's not important. I don't remember what it was.
So probably context, but we don't need that.
Probably context. We don't do that here.
Well, speaking of context, Steven, I'm so excited to tell you that I'm 3 trophies away from receiving the platinum trophy because, as you know, Steven, the platinum trophy is unlock all trophies. So like I don't really count that one as like a trophy I have to earn. I have 3 more trophies before I have not only beaten but platinumed Elden Ring. And it is the 3 endings that you have to unlock to get the platinum. So I just want to back that up for you, Steven, because what that means is I have beaten most of the main like bosses that people talk about. So like I kicked Melania's ass. I kicked Mog's ass. I wiped the floor with some dragon-skinned bitch who I found underground that I had to fight, okay? And I mean, did you see the clip of this, Steven?
No.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Whenever you text clips, they come in about what's smaller than 140p.
I don't know.
They come in as 2 Ps.
They come in as 2 Ps. Let me. We're gonna just do a full stop here, and I'm gonna see if I can email myself that clip, and then see if we can get it in here. I pretty much wiped the floor with this dude. I sent you guys a clip in our group chat because I was when I did it, I was just like, oh shit, like I've become too strong. If you're somebody who's been watching Elden Ring, if you're somebody who has been into all this, you've probably seen what I'm gonna show you. But if you're not super into all that stuff, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of this. Vortex says Elden Ring Platinum. All right, Jake, show me how many holes you have in your walls. None. I knew what I was setting out to do, and I did it.
I'm proud of you. You really clung to that game, and I think we've reached a convergence point of sorts with Elden Ring, because I think there have been games in the past where I've thought to myself, should I bother with Jake on this game? No, probably not. Now you've played a Soulsborne game, Jake.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you probably, there's nothing that I can just outright say that you won't play now.
I mean, I'm always down to try.
Yeah, you are.
Something.
You are.
You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Here's the clip. Now, I don't know. Oh God. Oh, it's loud. So I'm doing a bunch of potion drinking here. There's the boss. He doesn't know what's coming. Now, I did get hit. All right, but it wasn't a big deal. I don't even think he hit me. I think he missed.
I got hit. You know what? I didn't get hit.
Boom. Dead. One move killed him.
Using that laser beam, I see.
I got a nice laser beam. All right, it's gotten me through many a fight. All right, I've been using a great laser beam. I got a great laser beam build. But anyway, yeah, I am 3 platinums away. So basically, I have to beat the final boss, which is really it's weird because they Vortex is like laser. Like, okay, come on, I'm doing it. All right, you know what I mean? I had to work for that. All right.
Can we just talk about the fact that you said I have a laser beam build going, which is just funny to me because being, a build connoisseur, you think of like, oh yeah, I run the laser beam build. It's like, what goes into a laser beam build other than a laser beam? That just seems like.
But you have to make it the best laser beam it could possibly be. That's what all the potions I was drinking. I have this bubble thing, which basically like negates a first hit. Mm-hmm. And then I've got a ward that I put down that buffs my magic by 35%. Of
course.
And then I think also I had in that potion, I had like some magic buff in there. Anyway, lots of good stuff happening. But I basically just have to fight the last boss, who's technically it's 2 bosses, but it's really like one fight that's 2 phases, which is super annoying. By the way, I hate that. Like as a trope, I wish they could just do away with that. Like, let me beat one boss and then give me a checkpoint and let me move on to the last one.
It was Sekiro that had like the gorilla that you would cut him in half or something, and then he would get up.
Yes, he sprouted like a worm came out or something, and I didn't like that. Yeah. What's up, Courtney? Vortex said, also, did you know laser is an acronym? Just found out yesterday. I'm super disappointed on myself. So someone's going to have to let me know what that acronym stands for.
I may have known that at one point, but I definitely don't know what the acronym is.
That's funny. I like it. But anyway, I gotta do that. The last boss, Steven, I'll just tell you, not my favorite. It's gonna be hard. I can do it. It's just, I thought I could just walk in there. The boss before the last boss, I walked up to beat him in the first phase, and I was like, dog, I got this. This is no big deal. Then I walked into the final boss, and it wasn't as good. So anyway.
Do I look like I'm struggling? I mean, yeah, I do. But what clues are you picking up on there, Derpy? Because let me just tell you about the day. I've had a good day. I've had a very productive day. But Mondays have been killing me lately, to where for some reason I'm just wiped by the time the evening gets here. So Jake texted me saying we were ready to go, and I was in a half asleep daze on the couch. I just realized I'm wearing my pajama shirt. That's a thing. Get over it. It says it's got PlayStation on it. It's fine.
It works.
It works. Also, I bit my lip like 15 seconds before we started this podcast. So yeah, I'm struggling. I'm good though. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for the checkup.
Thanks for the checkup. That's funny. I since we're talking about shirts, so I don't know if I've addressed that I have like a sound panel behind me now. That's what this little wall is. Right. I may have talked about it before, but I got it for work, and it's just kind of become my new de facto background. And then I bought this shirt over the weekend at Target, and I didn't realize until I sat down today for work that I basically am just camouflaged now. Like I blend in so well with my background. It's not funny. It's not funny. Yeah, so
you do.
Anyway.
I'm gonna launch No Man's Sky real quick and have it open in the background while we talk about what we're gonna talk about, because I currently found a system that has a ship that I like, and so I'm just gonna sit in the space station
until it comes,
until a good version shows up.
I like it.
Which, by the way, look at me segueing. You talked about your time with Elden Ring, which again, very proud of you, and I think this is going to be big for us here at Chortle Games now that Jake has played Elden Ring and might play other Soulsborns in the future. Who knows?
Have there been any that we can co-op like we can in Elden Ring?
No. well, yes.
Well, okay. I have a slow auditory. I have a little bit of an auditory processing delay, Steven, and I just now came to me. It's just in. You said future FromSoft games, right?
I really meant. I feel like this has opened up a lot, and you saying future FromSoft games, Armored Core, maybe,
yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
I swear, I know they're working on it, but just make the game. Just make the game, release it. I don't care what state it's in. Just give me Armored Core. But anyway, I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky, just to talk about what I've been doing. And it sucks that the system I'm in to find this ship is a pirate system, because you're
getting attacked left and right.
Well, no, the computer light isn't going to do me any favors in terms of making me look like I'm not sitting in a dark room, because it's just black and red. Yeah,
I understand. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm literally just sitting here on top of my ship, just like waiting for other ships to show up. But they came out with a new update. I don't know if we've talked about this in podcast yet, so I'm just going to be brief.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
They came out with a new update called Outlaws, and basically it had to do with being a space pirate and space combat. They overhauled space combat, and it's a great update. It is one of those that's just like, this doesn't make the game experience like different to where I don't feel like I'm playing a different game. It's not quote unquote new content necessarily. It's new things to do, but it's not like an expansion, but it's really good stuff. Like that's kind of the pocket that No Man's Sky has been hitting, to where it's like enough reason to come back and play and just get some more entertainment out of it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this before I move on to the next thing, but I've hit it really hard this week, so I've probably put another 15 hours into the game that I didn't have last week. So
they added ships with sails, guys.
They did, and they're super cool. There's one that I showed you.
Yes.
The N1 Starfighter. It looks like from Star Wars Episode 1, the Naboo Starfighter, if it was fitted to be a pod racer and then refitted to be a starfighter again. There is a space shotgun vortex. There's shotgun for the multi-tool. There's a shotgun for your spaceship. Your spaceship can have a shotgun. Come on.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, the update's been really cool. I've almost got a full squadron of wingmen. That's neat. But yeah, that's just you talking about playing Elden Ring. That's basically what I've been doing. Elden Ring, I've hit this point to where like I've fallen off of it a little bit, just because like that's a game where I don't feel the drive to beat it. it's one where like I could see myself revisiting it. Like if we're ever just like, let's fight some bosses on Elden Ring, I'm pretty much just at the point to where I'm like 80% of the time I'm going to play Elden Ring is going to be for a stream, so that I can have the content backlog of let's fight this boss.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm doing with Elden Ring. It like I'm not bored of it, but I've hit that point where I'm just like, I've hit this really hard in solo play. My build is at a point where I don't know what else I can do to make it any better for co-op play. Of course I keep Frank Vortex. Frank is irreplaceable. But yeah, No Man's Sky, really good.
Yeah.
It's such a perplexing game. But I'm so glad that they've done what they've done with it.
Yeah, I like the new pirate update. We did a little bit of it on stream, and obviously you played a lot more than me, but just one simple thing. I mean, obviously I love the ships with sails. Like I was super pumped about that. But also just the missions of just like deliver this black market good here, go steal this from whoever.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff was really fun. And like, I'm sure there are missions like that from other factions or something in the game. But like that alone was just really okay. Well, that's huge.
There are, but those mission objectives like raid a capital ship, deliver illegal cargo. There is like deliver from space station to space station. But I feel like the pirate missions are kind of concepts that already exist with like faction missions, but they're expanded on.
Yeah.
Whereas like with deliver an item, I feel like almost always are going from one space station to another space station, whereas the deliver illicit cargo is like go to another system that is not pirate controlled, go to the planet and find your contact, rather than just where you're going to go.
It's funny, Steven, and it took you talking about deliver item from this space station to this other space station.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've made this joke. You even titled your personal stream to make this joke. But it just dawned on me that No Man's Sky has really become
Sea of Thieves.
But well, it's
actually good.
It's Sea of Thieves without griefing.
Yep.
And because we're talking about being pirates, like we talked about stealing stuff. We're not stealing that from other players.
Right.
Like we can all co-op and we can, we're stealing from NPCs.
Yeah.
That is the mode that Sea of Thieves is missing.
And see, that's the thing. Like now that No Man's Sky has hit where it is, it really makes Sea of Thieves that much more disappointing. Because like literally the only thing that Sea of Thieves, and this is coming from a guy who I've played Sea of Thieves a handful of times, and I've enjoyed my time all those times, but we were having
a great time on the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff until we ran into a group of other people, and then it wasn't fun anymore.
But all that to say, like maybe I could be wrong in saying this, which is why I'm going to say that up front. But
we need Joe in the chat to let us know if we're right around.
He's probably lurking. Sea of Thieves hasn't really. Like one of the things that makes No Man's Sky so compelling as a game is how endless it is. I can just jump to a random system and see a planet description that I've never seen before, even though I've got 74 hours into the game, and just go and see what that's all about. And I will almost certainly see something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
It is, for better or worse, depending on who you are. For me, it took a while to get over it because I always said like, I need something. I need a purpose in games. Like show me a goal. Like if you just give me a sandbox to go do stuff in, I'm gonna get bored. No Man's Sky is more so towards that sandbox of like you do what you want to do, but they added it with a little bit with content, which is what helped me. But it is the epitome of that, of like just an endless sandbox where you just explore, and it's like the purest form of just going on adventure. And Sea of Thieves, literally the one thing that it has that No Man's Sky doesn't in terms of just like the gameplay experience is co-op traversal. Let's call it that. And man, can you imagine if they added like larger ships, like between freighters and starships that were like group controlled?
Yes, I was just about to say, like, if we could get up in the command deck and almost Star Trek travel.
Yes.
That would be a huge. That's a great. Hey, No Man's Sky people. What's his
Sean
name?
Murray? Hey, Sean.
That's a free idea for you. Okay.
I take back those things I said about you like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't want to kill you anymore. I don't think you're a fraud. You were, but
you know they're working on their next thing, right?
I do.
I'm curious. I'm very excited.
But speaking of just that, real quick before we move on to the topic of the show, and I said this on the stream Saturday, but it's really special when you run into a game like this. The only other game that I can think of that did this and continues to do this is Warframe. But typically, and maybe this is just because the industry is full of Ubisoft types, like current Ubisoft types, when you see a game and you're just like, you have the thought, man, this would be really cool if they implemented this.
Right.
Like with Far Cry 6, I could say, it would be really cool if this was a DLC we got in the future, like something different. I can say with 100% confidence, because it's Far Cry 6, no, they're not going to do that, because the only updates we're going to get are going to be DLC 1 and then DLC 1 re-released twice.
Yep.
But then you have a game like Warframe where they're just like, you think you've got them figured out. You think you've got Warframe in this pocket that you understand. Okay, ninjas in space doing co-op missions. Cool. Wait, there's an open world now? Okay, interesting. Cool, but I think I got it now. What? There's spaceships? There's space combat? What? Like, they just keep adding stuff because, one, they're independent and they can. Warframe, they're kind of independent now. But two, like, they just have a passion for it, and they want to create a game that they want to play.
Right.
And is that the mindset over at Hello Games? I don't know. But I do think that when you have a game like this that continues to keep on giving, it's exciting because you can't put them in a box, because you don't, like, I can confidently say, I think it's entirely possible that in the future they could add co-op traversal through like bigger spaceships, or that like they could add fleet battles to where you could like command your ships from your freighter and do like a real-time strategy kind of thing or something. Like, I don't know. They totally could, because
that'd be a lot of fun.
It would. They refuse to be defined, and I love that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's exciting.
It's very good. It's very exciting. Well, to kind of get us into this topic, I mentioned I've already got like my next game planned out after. This is kind of my game plan once I beat Elden Ring. All right. Tomorrow, actually, Sifu is doing a roadmap update. One of those things should be easy mode.
Do you fight the roadmap?
Yeah, it's an actual map that you have to fight. Funny enough, like, you actually traverse the map, and like there's bosses along the map, but then eventually you just like the map stands up.
The second phase is where you blue skidoo weekend 2 and you go into the map.
Yeah, exactly. It rolls up, and anyway, they're gonna do their update. One of those things is easy mode, so I'm finally gonna beat and also hopefully platinum that game. The one problem I have that's gonna be difficult to platinum that one was obviously I had to beat the final boss I had to spare the final boss, which like I could never do it. I tried for a long time and eventually just said, nope, I gotta walk away. Actually, really, once they announced easy mode, I was just like, I'll wait. I'll wait. I would literally beat my head against this wall until it came out. So I'll just wait. And then they're adding some new costumes and stuff. Like, I hope it's going to be a really fun update. But then after one of the other difficult things, that's what I was going to say. I feel like I've done every possible takedown. But that's one of the trophies, is do every takedown. And it's like you have to do it with every weapon in like every scenario, like on a counter surface, against a wall, on the ground. And like, I don't know what I'm missing. So like, it's going to be hard to track down. But anyway, they're going to add some new stuff. So that's really exciting. But then the other one that I'm going to play, this is my palate cleanser from going through just the brutal everything that is Elden Ring. I thought I had found a good happy ending, Steven. I thought I had. Turns out, if I went back to that person, not a happy ending. Not a happy ending. Real bad ending. Real like creepy body demorphing. Not good ending. Yeah, I hate those. Person's turned into like a ball of like a massive people ball. And it's like, and they go, my apprentice. It's like,
Edward.
Nope. Yeah, yes. That's exactly the vibes I got off of it. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, to cool down from that, I'm going to play a little game called Lake, which is this very chill game where you play as a girl from the big city moving back to your hometown, and you take over as like the mail man of your town, the mail lady of your town. Let me pull up
the female man, actually.
The female man of your town. And so I'm pulling up a trailer for you here. I'll pop it in. There we go. So this is Lake, but it's just very chill. You deliver packages. It's a nice little story. So I am hopefully this is what I'm planning to do. I'm gonna platinum it. I got it on PlayStation. I'm just gonna be very chill, beat this, have a nice time. So anyway, that's what I'm doing next. So anyway, just
literally all I saw was trees and a woman in a sweater.
I know. This is like the worst example. This is like a story, which it is a big story game. Like that's the big meat of it. But anyway, you play as a mail delivery person. You deliver packages. It's basically Death Stranding, but in modern times. So
Boo!
I'm just I'm here. But that brings us to the topic at hand, which is, and I love that we made this the topic, Stephen, because we spent almost 30 minutes just to just chatting and getting into this. Yeah. So I'm glad this is the direction we went. Let's talk about games that are coming out very soon over the next several months. And so this started as Steven was just very excited about a lot of things in June. June is stacking up for Steven.
June for me has become a hella stacked month. Let me tell you.
Hella stacked.
It's looking good.
Stacked. All very exciting stuff. So we've got a couple of different lists here. And so Steven, let's start in April. Is there anything like we're almost through April, right? It's April 25th. So is there anything towards the end of April that you're looking forward to coming out? Nintendo Switch Sports comes out on April 29th. I'm not getting that. I'm not necessarily excited about it, but I have heard it's good. I've heard it's good. Yeah. But anyway, I'm looking at both our lists here to make sure there wasn't anything on there that we wanted to talk about.
I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Well, this is May. This gets into May, but anything in April that you wanted to touch on?
I know exactly what you're going to talk about. I just saw it.
Yeah. So shifting into May then, one thing I'm very excited about is Trek to Yomi.
Yep.
It basically, I would describe it to you as let me type it in here. Trek to Yomi. I would describe it as Ghost of Tsushima, a side-scrolling Ghost of Tsushima. That's all in black and white instead of just having the option to be in black and white.
Right.
But it just looks super cool. We had a new trailer of it at a recent PlayStation event. Looks to be like it's going to have a really cool story.
Be very stylish.
It's very stylish. I kind of like the side-scrolling aspect of it. Like, I know that may seem limiting after playing a game like Ghost of Tsushima where you're just fully 3D, but I always say that limits just allow you to focus on what you have.
That's a good way to look at it.
And really dial in. So I'm excited.
Well, I mean, side scrollers, I don't know how much you've really played games like that. They can low-key have really good combat. Like Dead Cells, people still consider Dead Cells to be like one of the greats in terms of action games. And it's a side scroller. So you can have some good stuff. games like that. And this just looks like it's going to be a real slick, probably won't last too long, but one of those that's just like you play it and you're just like, I am perfectly happy with the experience that I had.
I'm hoping for like a 20-30 hour platinum. Okay. And that's if I can get that, it'll be a perfect game for me. But it just looks sharp, man. It looks really good. But you know, I do like the occasional side scroller, right? Like I'm a big fan of Little Nightmares, right? It's a great one.
That's true.
Big fan of the Little Nightmares ones. What else you got in May, Steven? I'll pass it back to you.
Sniper Elite 5 is coming out, and it's going to be on Game Pass, so that'll be fun.
Okay, all right.
I have nothing to say about it other than the fact that you go to France. Carl Fairburn, we're playing as him again. He is the sniper who apparently saw every single theater of war in World War II somehow. But that's one of those games that's like, I've played this before, but like, it's just a good time. I love a good sniping game, and that's the granddaddy of all of them.
I feel like Jeremy will really like that one.
Yeah, and it is on Game Pass.
Does that have co-op or anything like that?
There's actually a mode that I really like that they've had since Sniper Elite 3 is called like Overwatch, I think. And the way it plays is that one person is the sniper and one person is the boots on the ground. And so the sniper is giving Overwatch cover to the guy who's like doing the mission.
So I think a great stream idea. Yeah. And I don't even know if this is possible. So if we could have all three of us, this would be hella fun. If it's just two, it still works. I'm the guy inside, and you and Jeremy have to snipe an Overwatch for me.
I'm glad that's what you recommended, because I thought you were going to be like, so I'm sniping, and I was going to be like, so no.
Oh, man. But see, you guys are competent enough that y'all would be all right in that
We're
scenario.
A little bit more than competent enough. Come on.
That's what I mean. That's not an insult. That's I'm telling you, you could handle it. You don't even need my Overwatch, so that wouldn't be as much fun. But if I'm just failing miserably, it's basically, can you guys do everything you needed to do from the sky? So right. That's what it would really boil down to. But anyway, it could be a lot of fun. You know what else, Steven? We need to go back to and do at some point. I'm blanking on the name right there. It Takes Two to Tango. Was that? Project Tango,
I think. Yeah,
Tango. They have some free DLC that we need to go and do. We need to go back and do that.
That's cool.
And then if you want to switch roles there, I could get the platinum for that one too. But you know, hey, whatever.
No, I like being my mustached hacker man.
Yeah. All right. That's fair enough. I understand that. All right, cool. So Sniper Elites. I don't even see that on the list. I'm trying to keep up with you.
That's
on
why
I see it. Okay,
I went to Wikipedia because it seemed like it was more exhaustive.
There's I've been hearing a lot of talk. Everybody's very excited about. Never mind. I'm thinking of Crazy Taxi. This is the last Taxi. I'm not. Who cares? Who cares? You know.
That sounds like the gritty, like step cousin of Crazy Taxi.
Oh, what up, Aaronator? Yeah, exactly right. That's the dark. That's the Batman Begins last Crazy Taxi. I am curious about this Pac-Man Museum Plus. That sounds like something fun. I should get my mom somehow.
It's probably just gonna be a lot of Pac-Man, right? That's
So have I ever told this story about my mom? She people would give her money to watch her play Pac-Man in college.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know, Steven. You and I, are like just a little too young for this phase of like gaming. But you go to the arcade, right? You'd have your quarter, and like you'd stack up your quarter, like to like say, hey, I got next game or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you ever you know how that kind of works?
Oh yeah.
So my mom, basically, people just kept adding quarters to her stack specifically because they wanted to just keep watching her play. So anyway, she used to be pretty good at it. Anyway, I digress.
Well, Pac-Man Museum is going to be 14 games from the Pac-Man franchise.
That's pretty fun. I'm no good at Pac-Man, but my mom could have been a pro. Yeah. I'm trying to look. I'm just glad this Vampire the Masquerade game is finally gonna. Is that the BER vampire game that we keep hearing about all the time?
No, I think that's Blood Hunt.
Ugh, I'm just tired of hearing of both of those.
Vampire the Masquerade, is that in May?
Yeah, tail end of May.
This says Swan Song.
Yeah.
So
it's like a DLC, maybe? I don't know.
Wait. So
this is the RPG. This is not the battle royale thing I'm thinking of.
Yeah, like there's Vampire the Masquerade. There's been like an RPG that's been in the making for years. Is this that, or is this like
it might be? That's one of those that I usually just like glaze over.
Yeah.
I knew there was one I wanted to talk about. Sons of the Forest. Oh, it got delayed. That's right. Yeah. This is a bad list.
Can't talk about that yet.
I'm sorry.
I'm really excited about that though.
Well, let's move. I know one you're excited about is Diablo Immortal coming out.
Yeah, we just got the release date for that. What, today or yesterday? I think it was today.
Yeah, June 2nd. There's a what I'm looking at says ISO. Is it just an ISO game, or is it coming everywhere?
iOS.
Yeah. What did I say?
ISO. So it's Diablo designed for mobile, but they're also releasing it on PC.
Gotcha.
Which Diablo will make a great mobile game.
Yeah,
it is the epitome of that. And so that's one where I'm just like, I'm excited to try that. Do I think I'll play it a lot? Who knows? We'll see.
Right. Well, then moving into June, we've got Mario Strikers Battle League on Nintendo Switch, and Steven apparently is excited about it.
So I wanted to get the original Mario Strikers because I love soccer. I played a lot of soccer when I was a kid.
I have never. Have we ever talked about this before? I had no idea that you liked soccer.
No, I was a really good goalie.
Have I ever told you my story of being a goalie?
No.
Okay, go ahead and finish your thought, and I'll tell it. I'll tell it later.
There was one team that I was a part of when I was a child, where the coach was the dad of one of the kids, so
right.
I never got to be goalie. I was always fullback, like a defense player, because he was one of those coaches that was like, the fat kids go there because if we're doing our job, we don't need them. That kind of mindset.
Dang.
So yeah, but no, I goalie was my favorite thing to do.
So brief tangent. First of all, I never knew this about you, Steven. So I'm like, this. It's crazy. I'm learning this now. My goalie story. I played soccer. I am not a big sports fan. Period. Like, I can watch baseball, but that's just because I was forced to watch so much baseball that I've kind of figured out how to watch it and enjoy it. But one thing I did do, I played goalie once, and I thought I was so fast that I could stand at the goal posts, like I'm talking like I have become part of the goal. I am nowhere in the middle.
Jake's over there putting a blindfold on, like, come on.
And so I would wait until the ball was basically in the net before I would run to block it.
Yeah.
And of course, I never blocked a goal, so I did not make it very long as goalie. So
that's the only position where you could literally spear a person and it'd be okay because you're the goalie.
Yeah,
like you run at them and just tackle them to the ground. They're just like, well, you were the aggressor, so
you were the aggressor. You were the aggressor. All right, Asher just woke up, so I'm going to walk away for a second, but keep going down the list. I do want to talk about the day before, so maybe if there's some other things you're looking forward to, I'll come back. Like Outriders World Slayer coming out June 30th.
You have to be here for that because you're going to get that too.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got on the list. I've got my list up here, but I'm trying to decide what I want to talk about without him here. Here's one that we probably won't have a lot to say together, but is funny to me that it exists. Lego Brawls. If that is what I think it is, it's like Super Smash Brothers, but with Legos, which is low-key one of the most brilliant ideas. Flynn, stop. Flynn just went underneath my legs trying to cross over, and it like lifted up my desk. Flynn, buddy, you're making yourself known, but without being on camera. That's not fair. If you're gonna disrupt, you need to let your cuteness be on camera. Minnie, you come here. Come here. Oh yeah. Minnie says hello. Oh gosh. She hates this. But yeah, Lego Brawls, which is like Smash Brothers but with Legos. That's genius. That is so freaking smart. Come on. Because like, think about it. That's like the perfect idea for a Smash Brothers game where you get to like customize characters. That's great. It's a mobile game. I take back everything I said. Gross.
I'm back. Flynn sounds very excited.
He and Minnie are doing that thing. It's so funny. I may have even said this like one of the times we streamed last week, but they have, I love dogs. They're so funny. They will do this thing where they'll just kind of catch each other's eyes, and then they'll do like the play bump thing, where they like butts up, head down.
Right.
And they'll just look at each other, and the first one to bark chases the other one. It's so cute.
I love how you've like analyzed their whole game and everything. That's great. What game did you talk about while I was gone?
I was talking about Lego Brawls, the Lego version of Super Smash Brothers that I was excited about until I read that it was a mobile game.
I was about to say, I feel like there's a mobile game that's already is that, so that's funny.
You're thinking of the Lego turn-based RPG.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Which is a thing. But I mean, I was saying how like that's such a good idea.
That is a great idea. They've
Lego
got so many
Smash Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, they got so many IP and everything they can pull from.
Glenn, come here.
It'll be better.
Come here.
It'll be better than that other character brawler that WB is doing.
Where you can have
multiverses
fight Batman.
I will say though, Arya Stark's character model looks awesome. So anyway, all right. We talked about Strikers. You've talked about that. The day before, June 21st. This is the I
don't think it's going to come out then, but
that's what they got.
That's what they got.
That's what they're saying. I'm really excited about that one. It's a Division if it was taking place in the world of Last of Us kind of vibe. So
it very much feels like Division, where there's a lot of emphasis on well-designed environment, and just very. Just the visuals are really good. And there's going to be. Thank you. We don't know anything really about the gameplay yet. We just know that it's defined as an MMO.
Yeah.
Which has me hopeful that PvP is going to be circumstantial, not everywhere.
Yeah.
But we do know from the one proof of concept, gameplay, alpha footage, whatever you want to call it, that they were intentionally avoiding other players.
Right.
Which it was hilarious because they're over there being sneaky, and they're leaving like a farmhouse, and the other players are rolling up in like sirens blasting cop cars. Could not be more different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those that like I don't know how much we have that's like tangible to grasp on. Saying like, oh yeah, we'll be able to do this. Pretty much all we know is that vehicles will be important. You'll have to repair them. They can get stuck in the mud and stuff. There seems to be a wide variety of biomes, because we've seen like in the remote farm areas, we've seen in like a New York style city, we've seen a giant mall, which that has me very, very curious, because normally you'd think like with Division, they stuck to one area and just really knocked the level design out of the park. But with this, when we're going all the way from remote farmlands to Mall of America to New York City, like that has me really curious how wide they're going to go with this thing, and how travel between areas is going to work, and how much of it is quote unquote open world and how much of it is instanced regions.
Right.
But the questions have me both excited but also very skeptical.
Yeah, I was supposed to. I've only seen that one early gameplay demo that I feel like we saw at least a year ago, and I have not heard anything else. So hopefully it still comes out, because it looks awesome.
And it's fairly under the radar, but it's one of those games that like,
I hear no one talk. Like I feel like we're the only people talking about it.
Yeah, and it comes out in 2 months. It's crazy.
I feel like if it does hit that date, I feel like it's going to be a sleeper hit where no one knew about it. Someone's going to see it on Twitch and suddenly it's going to take off. Because I think the concept is awesome. They have just put no marketing behind it.
Right. Which has me worried that it's
not going to be as good as it looked. Yeah.
That they definitely overpromised. And it's a no-name developer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure this is like their first game or something. I think they're from Russia, but they relocated at some point to Singapore. So that could play into delays, but they have not communicated that at all. I mean, if they were going to use that as a reason for delays, they would have done it by now.
Yeah. Do we know who that developer is? I want to follow them on Twitter.
I can tell you in a second.
Please do, Steven. Please tell me in a second, because I would like to know.
The developer is Fantastic, but without the first A. So F-N-tastic. Published by Mytona.
Fantastic Games. Yep. Follow.
They made Prop Night.
Mysterious Keymaster invites you to play the new enigmatic hide and seek game mode for Prop Night. Interesting. Yeah, they made Prop Night. Huh? How about that? We need to play Prop Hunt, Steven. Or some. This is Prop Night. I haven't heard of this. We need to maybe check that out. I've always wanted to do one of those modes. Yeah, I am not seeing other than a thing in their bio that says developer of Play Day Before and Play Prop Night. They got nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at. They've just been retweeting stuff. They've had a couple tweets. Prop Night is like, no. They're either promoting their other game or they're whatever. So hopefully it'll hit. All right, next on the list that I see that I know we'll want to talk about is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. It's the Fire Emblem Warrior. It's the Warriors game for Fire
the Warriors
Emblem's
version
Three
of
Houses.
Yeah.
I'm not getting this. Are you getting this? Is this
see.
something you're interested in?
It's one of those that, like, because June is so stacked, I probably won't.
Right.
But it's one of those that I'll get on sale at some point, probably. Or, if they make some changes to the Warrior formula to where there's more of a strategy blend, then maybe.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Mike is very excited about this Warriors game. He's
Hold on.
Popping out all sorts of things.
Hey.
There you go. Just mute yourself. You're good. Let's see. Mike, I'm glad you're excited about the Warriors game. Yeah, we'll see. I just have no interest because whatever story it might add, I don't suppose it's going to be anything important. So it may not really pan out for me. But Mike's talking about the movie. I understand. I'm sorry, the movie Warriors. That makes sense. Now, I don't know if Steven is excited about this one, but one that I will talk about here is Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course.
I'm not.
You're not excited?
The Cuphead is one of those where I'm like, go off, guys. You guys, great game, fantastic. I love the art. Oh, come play. No, I'm not going to come play it though. Keep doing it. You guys are killing it. I will not touch your game. I know it's a trick. It's a trap.
I think though, I think you could do it. Steven. Look, Cuphead was the first like quote unquote hard game I ever played. Me and Brody played, which I don't know that I would have made it through that without Brody. But we have a whole Let's Play of us playing through the original one, Brody and I. And
there's an episode, and I'm not gonna tell you guys which episode because I want you to go find it. There's an episode where Jake spontaneously screams, but he unintentionally does the Goofy scream when Goofy falls off of things. And it's one of my favorite Chortle Games moments of all time. Go find it. Then report back to me when you found it, and I'll tell you if you're right or not.
It was great. I did a whole like Devil Went Down to Georgia bit when we fought the devil. It was great. It's a good time. One of the better Let's Plays that we did. Yeah. But anyway, I've been obviously playing through it with Brody. I really had a good time, and so I've been excited for the DLC. But it's just taken forever. I mean, I think it's been a couple of years at this point, but it looks good. They've added a whole new island. There's going to be lots more bosses. It's coming to Xbox. It should be on Xbox Game Pass. I just hope. I don't know where my progress is. You know what I mean? Because I played it on Xbox, but I don't have that Xbox anymore, and I don't know where that data would have gone. I don't know if it is going to recognize from my account that I've beaten or played it. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But anyway, if you have to play through the whole game to play it, I'm done. But you would think, right, at this point, with it being several years later, it's just a play on whatever you want. Just jump straight in. But I could be totally wrong. So anyway, I was going to say, Steven, if it's on Xbox Game Pass, we should totally just co-op it together. But if you're really not that interested, I might have to save it for
I'll try it. I really appreciate Cuphead.
It's great.
It's fantastic. Everyone that worked on that game did a absolute bang up job.
Did you ever watch? Go ahead.
The show? No.
Yeah, I tried one episode. And they're very short. They're like 15-minute episodes, which I was not expecting. But I just didn't love it. So I kind of haven't gone back to it yet. But I'd like to like it more than I did. But anyway, Delicious Class Course. I think we should at least try it, Steven. Yeah. And if you hate it, it might be one that me and Jeremy do together. So, all right, Outriders, World Slayer.
All right, Jake, take a seat.
I'm already sitting.
All right.
Steven.
So we knew that Outriders, ever since I believe November when they released the New Horizons update, that we were getting an expansion, and all we knew was that it was called World Slayer. Then last week they're like, "Buckle up, guys! We got a whole broadcast telling you about World Slayer," and I was like, "Let's go! I'm so ready for it." And Thursday, I think, yes, they did the broadcast, and I will give you just the general overview. Let me pull up the text message that I sent to my brother because that was bulleted, whatever. There it is. Okay. There's a new campaign. You don't like campaigns, Flynn?
I was about to say, that's how I feel, Flynn. I'm right there with you.
Buddy. There is a new class tree for each class. What is your problem? You barked at that one. There's a level cap increase. Post level cap progression, kind of like it's called Ascension, but it's kind of like Paragon levels in Diablo 3 or Badass rank in Borderlands or Keener's Watch in Division 2. So basically when you hit the max level, every time you level up again, you can increase stats incrementally.
Kind of like the champion. Was that what it was called? Champion points on Avengers?
Yeah, exactly like that. I forgot that was a thing. New difficulty tiers called Apocalypse tiers that can drop Apocalypse gear that can contain a third mod slot.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know how my signature gun is a light machine gun that looks chromed out, that its whole thing is that every time I shoot people, it drops energy claymores on top of people and also drops a meteor on them. I can add a third thing that it drops on people now. But that's crazy. There's going to be a lot of new legendary gear. There's a new end game mode. They did not provide details, but it's like the trials of like some PAX characters. The name, basically, the vibe I get from it is it's either going to be like a randomized dungeon or a horde mode, something that's very replayable.
I like horde modes.
It sounds like a very meaty package. There's going to be a lot of stuff they add to it. How much do you think it costs? It's not free.
$30.
40.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And that's more than I expected, but that also has me hopeful that it's gonna actually be a pretty sizable expansion.
Yeah, that's pretty meaty price wise for a expansion.
But at the same time, like Iceborne for Monster Hunter World, that cost $40, and that was well worth it.
Yeah,
because that was like Monster Hunter World Part 2, basically. Like it was like getting the game again.
Exactly.
And I feel like that could be what we end up with here. But also, People Can Fly, the team that did Outriders, they've done such a good job handling the game from pre-launch to post-launch, aside from some hiccups like technical issues. But they handled it, and they made up for it with a lot of free content. Like it's just a team that I want to see succeed.
Right.
Because they made just a fun game, and it's a game I would pay $60 for it again. I'm not going to, but I would, just to support them. But there is a version of it where you can buy the $60 version to get the base game and World Slayer. So it's going to be friendly for new players, because they even have a feature where you can just start a character that is at the level, like max level from the base game, so you can just jump right into World Slayer if you want to. So that's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. I need that.
Yeah.
Just to get through it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, yeah, that's exciting. We need to jump back into that. I've enjoyed the last couple of times we've played it with my new character. It
gets even more fun once you get to that max level and you start creating your build, because then you become an unstoppable monster.
See, that's the problem, is I am struggling on, because and as you should, and as we have been, we're jumping world tiers as soon as we unlock them.
Yeah.
And that just keeps it very, very hard. So
it does.
Anyway, but
once you're at the point to where you're just like tearing through people and like dropping everything in the kitchen sink on top of people's heads by shooting them with bullets.
Steven, if there's a mod that lets you drop a kitchen sink on somebody, I do not care. That's what you're locked into now. Okay. I'm just here to tell you.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if there's anything else.
I've got.
What else did you have in June? You were very excited. Did you talk about Monster Hunter yet?
I have not. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is coming out. It's the Iceborne of Monster Hunter Rise. It's just more Monster Hunter, which that's just exciting to me, because we all know I love Monster Hunter Rise.
Right.
I don't know if you or Jeremy are going to get it, but I'm definitely going to get it.
Monster Hunter Rise is always one I keep tossing back of, like, anytime you want to play that one, like, I'm down for that to be what we stream. Do I have to have progressed through everything to get to the Sunbreak stuff?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm sure I have a lot, because I have not played unless we've been streaming it.
If it's anything like Iceborne, I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just what we need to pivot over to when we're not playing No Man's Sky. Is just do some Monster Hunter Rise. I've been tempted every now and then to switch over to PC for Monster Hunter Rise.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. Progress doesn't carry over.
Yeah, that does not sound fun.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really nice being able to play Monster Hunter like in bed, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it works really well.
Yeah. But cross progression just needs to be a thing.
It needs to be standard.
That I feel like that should be more the standard. That should be the standard more so than cross play.
I agree.
But I really think they go hand in hand. Like
they do.
You should just it shouldn't matter.
Another game that this is the last one I've got written down, but I feel like there's one I'm forgetting, and this one's going to be really out of left field, but I may have mentioned this back when they first announced it at a Nintendo Direct. Shadowrun Trilogy. Are you familiar with Shadowrun?
No.
Shadowrun is a tabletop game, like in the vein of D&D, but are you familiar with Artemis Fowl? Mike knows what I'm talking about.
I never watched the movie. that came out. But I know it's based off a book. So, but I really don't know anything.
So
else
basically, the general concept of Artemis Fowl. Well, let's just skip the Artemis Fowl comparisons. Like, Shadowrun is a cyberpunk game if it took place in a fantasy world. Ooh. So you have elves, dwarves, and all that stuff. Yeah. You've never heard of this?
No. What?
Okay. So
I'm looking up a trailer. What is it called again? What?
Shadowrun is the series. The books are great. I loved the Artemis Fowl books. So you Shadowrun, I don't remember what the trilogy is. A series of games they released that were done as like a top-down turn-based tactical XCOM style of game. So it's 3 of those. The Shadowrun has had a video. They did a Shadowrun video game a while ago. It was an FPS, but no one played it. And it is a tabletop game as well. The Shadowrun is one of those where like it is like the untapped gem. I feel like there's so much you could do with that game, and just no one's using it except for the teams that did this tactical trilogy. So basically you create what is called a runner, which Shadowrun is where that comes from. You are a mercenary for hire. You do odd jobs for pay. And it is a top-down RPG with XCOM style combat, but you also work in a team. So like you make your character, but then there's other runners you can hire to do jobs with you. They're like pre-rendered runners. But there's cool stuff like there's guns and there's swords and there's like elemental magic. So you could be a sword guy that throws fireballs, or like a shotgun guy that throws fireballs, if that's your thing. Yeah. Or you could be I think a shaman is what I'm probably going to run, which is basically they can attune to, like they can summon elemental spirits. So like summoners. You could be an engineer that has like little tanks that they drive around. The Decker is a very interesting one. That is a hacker, but the way they work is that hacking is another layer of the game where you have your hacking deck and you will hack into a computer, and your character is transported into the computer and you play as your character in the computer world with different abilities based on your decking potential. So that's super cool. But yeah, these games are older. Like they came out around 2012 maybe and onward, and there's a trilogy of them. But I have them all on PC. But just the idea of being able to play all of these on Switch is amazing to me, because these are such Switch games. I'm pumped.
Yeah, it's giving me what's that game? It was a detective game. There was a lot of reading in it. It won Game of the Year or something. Disco Elysium. It's giving me a little bit of Disco Elysium vibes in like just how it functions, because like it seems like you're walking around, but like people's text bubbles are popping up in a certain way. I mean, just the trailer I've been watching here has had a lot of reading.
It is one of those RPGs. But there's a lot of depth in the character building and everything, and the combat is basically XCOM, cover-based, turn-based tactical. But I really like the premise. It's kind of the Ghostwire Tokyo deal where they have me at the premise alone.
I was gonna say I really like that premise. Mm-hmm. But it's, I forget the movie. I want to say The Shiny or no, Bright. That's what it was called. Yeah. With Will Smith, had this similar concept of like fantasy creatures and characters, but in a modern day. Yeah. And it was like Will Smith was a human cop working with an orc cop. Yeah. And I enjoyed that movie. Mm-hmm. It wasn't and obviously it wasn't as good, and people didn't like it as much, and understandably so. But like what's funny about it is, it's kind of Zootopia. Yep. Just with elves and orcs instead of animals. Yep. So I feel like that's unfortunate timing. But
this one, I would go absolutely nuts if they did like an Ascent style game, like a top-down twin stick co-op shooter in the Shadowrun universe. Yeah. Oh man, that would be so good.
That does sound funny.
The concept is insane. I love the whole idea of, because I played a couple of those games a decent amount. I never got super far. But it was always the thing where it was just like, when I play PC games, it was hard for me because when I played them, it was around my XCOM time, like peak XCOM time. And so playing Shadowrun was like, I could just go play XCOM. And so like having them on Switch where I can play them in the comfort of basically anywhere, that's really appealing to me because they're games that I know I want to play. But when I'm at my computer, it's like, well, I could dive into No Man's Sky. I could play XCOM. I could play literally anything else. I could go play the PlayStation. So it's what I need to force myself to sit down and really enjoy them. But what I did play, they were a lot of fun. Just because it totally has that vibe of like each job you do, like the money you earn really is important. And like you need that money to upgrade your character to keep going. And I remember thinking like the whole thing of hiring other runners was really cool because they all had pretty interesting personalities.
Right.
I really like it. And that's probably one I might stream those when it comes out, but maybe not, because that's the kind of game where there's, like you said, there's a lot of reading and I don't like streaming those.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be the best, but it might be. I don't know. It would be worth a shot. As I look through July, I'm not seeing a ton of things. I feel like we're kind of getting towards the end here. I forget what the new date is, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got moved up. I forget if it's June or July.
July 29th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That got moved up. Yeah, I'm not at all interested in that. Are you? Are you doing anything with that series?
I don't know yet, because Xenoblade is one of those. I'm a sucker for a blend of fantasy and sci-fi.
Right.
But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looked so cringe, and I wanted nothing to do with that. And I have no attachment to the series. But that trailer they showed, like when they announced it, that was is that the one I'm thinking of? Where it like looked really good. I'm trying to open up.
I don't know. You might want to try to find that trailer, because the thumbnail that I'm looking at for reference here,
just them looking in the distance like every other Xenoblade.
Yeah, and it's not even that. They're looking at some big monster, and like it doesn't look bad, but like it looks about like Monster Hunter Rise does right now, which is not again not bad, but like I wouldn't just say like, oh my god, it's amazing, like And I mean, any Switch game is going to be hard to look that way.
Okay, I'm literally reading like the beginning of the Wikipedia page, and it might have sold me depending on how cringy the characters are, because with these games the characters are a selling point for me, because with a like JRPG style game where you are stuck with these pre-made characters, I need to like the characters, otherwise I don't want to play your game. And this is saying all the right things in terms of mechanics. I'll just read it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is an action role-playing game with a large open world to explore. Unlike previous Xenoblade games, which limited the number of active party members to 3, the game allows for up to 7 to participate in battles at once.
I gotta go help with Asher, but keep going.
Okay. Including the main party of 6 and one of several different characters that appear over the course of the story. Party members will also gain the ability to change their character class. That's really cool. Granting them access to different abilities under certain conditions. Specific pair of party members, blah, 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 can utilize interlink system. I don't know what that means, but yeah. We'll see. We'll see on that one. Xenoblade is one of those that I've literally never played one. I know that Shulk is really feeling it, and that's all I know about Xenoblade. And that there was an open world action RPG for the Wii U where you could fly a mech, and they did it for the Wii U, and then they wondered why the game didn't sell well. But yeah, that's one of those where I'm always kind of looking to see if it's worth jumping into. So we'll see. Saints Row is coming out in August. Apparently the new the customization trailer that they showed looked very impressive, but it doesn't really break news to say that Saints Row has good character customization. That's always kind of been in their niche. So I don't know. They need to sell me on that one still. Yeah, I'm not really excited about Saints Row. Jeremy I think he really wants to be excited. I don't know if he is or not, but Saints Row used to be really good. Saints Row 2 was unfortunately just buried underneath the popularity of Grand Theft Auto. But in my opinion, as far as like when you look past the aging game mechanics and everything, to me, Saints Row 2 was the best semi-realistic like city open world game that we've ever had. It was so good.
Are you playing some crazy music?
No. Do you have a page open somewhere that's like playing music? I've got a few Google pages open to like articles. Like the day before, I was reading an article about that. I don't think that's coming through though.
Is anyone else hearing that? Crazy music. There's like some anime music, but it also sounds a little demonic. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Well, there is like the chill music that's playing underneath. It's not that music, Vortex. I'm not hearing anime music.
It was something with my Bluetooth. It was something coming through on Bluetooth in my headphones. Freaky as fuck, let me tell you.
So whenever your Bluetooth headset gets low on battery, it just starts playing the Attack on Titan theme? Is that?
No, it was weird. It was definitely anime music playing, like, but like chill, like but like heavy static, and like a weird like sound going on. Very strange. Joe, whatever you listen to over there across the street, like I need you to turn your Bluetooth off. All right, I don't want to hear it.
Last one I'll mention.
What did you move on to?
Saints Row.
Yeah.
I have nothing really to say about it.
If I can jump in on one, Splatoon 3 got moved to September 9th. Well, I say moved. Got finally announced to September 9th. Very excited. So that's one I'm looking forward to.
Warhammer 40K Darktide. I don't know, Mike, if you're still here. I hope you are, because you're my Warhammer. Well, you and Vortex both are big Warhammer guys. Darktide, I've talked about it before, and it's one of those that's kind of been on my radar. It comes out September 13th. You know Vermintide, Jake?
Yes.
It is, because Warhammer, you have Warhammer, and then you have Warhammer 40K, which is that universe, but 40,000, like year 40,000, I think is how that works. Right? Is that right?
It's like a futuristic.
It's futuristic. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So Darktide, you play as a squad of from the Imperial Guard, which they were my faction when I played Dawn of War. That's basically my only Warhammer experience, is playing Dawn of War. Great RTS from late 2000s.
Yeah.
But so the Imperial Guard was my faction that I played, and they were basically humans with a couple aliens, and I'm probably botching the lore. Mike, please don't hate me. But basically you're playing as an elite squad of guardsmen in this game, one of which is an Ogren, which are basically ogres, but they have like a giant like grenade launcher shotgun kind of thing, and a bayonet on it.
Sounds right up your alley, Vortex.
I think there's a Kasserkin that is part of the squad, which is basically their elite soldiers, or at least in Dawn of War, that's what they were. Looks really cool. And I forget what the other two characters were. Yeah, Mike's about to go in on me. It's a shotgun, right? It's not a grenade launcher. It kind of looks like a blunderbuss, which is why I didn't know what it was. It's a shotgun in Dawn of War. Again, Dawn of War is my only Warhammer stuff, but it looks really fun. It's going to be like Vermintide. It's a Left 4 Dead style game, but it's 40K.
Yeah.
And I have basically zero interest in Warhammer aside from 40K, which is why Vermintide didn't hit for me. I'm waiting to get roasted by Mike.
What is
please correct me.
Plague Tale? That's what it is. I'm just sitting here. I'm looking ahead at some other things, and there's lots we could talk about that are like dated. I don't really want to go past September.
Yeah,
there's lots of things like Forspoken, Gotham Knights, Starfield.
I know I'm leaving a lot out, Mike. I'm trying to keep it simple because, one, I don't know all the lore about the Ogrins. All I know is that Ogrin sounds like ogre, so I assume that they're supposed to be like an ogre type creature, and they work with the guard. That's basically That's basically all my knowledge. I didn't want to overcomplicate it. And yes, I know Vermintide is regular Warhammer, which is why it didn't hit for me.
Right.
Because Warhammer is like classic, like regular fantasy, but more of like a dark take on like a high fantasy realm, whereas 40K is high fantasy sci-fi blend. I did know that. I did say that. Don't get it twisted, Mike.
Don't get it twisted.
But again, Mike's on his fourth paragraph. So yeah, but that one, it's. I want to know more about Warhammer 40K, and that seems like a great game to be like something for me to re-engage with the series other than Dawn of War, because there's been Space Marine games and they're coming out with another Space Marine game. You've seen like the Space Marine trailer, right? Like you've probably heard of Space Marines, the guy in like the big bulky armor with the chainsaw sword.
Kinda, yeah.
That's Warhammer 40K.
Gotcha.
That's from that pocket of. Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. Pocket of gaming. Yeah. Ogrins are dumb as hell, but super loyal. Hence why they're great bodyguards. Okay.
There you go.
That's good to know. I kind of assumed that, but I didn't want to assume. But yeah, it's kind of like, to me, seeing this is like seeing a Star Wars game. It's like seeing something like 1313, even though that never came out. But it's like a Star Wars game that's like, we don't have to use Jedi right now. That's kind of how I feel about Space Marines in video games and Warhammer 40K. Is Space Marines are so easy to go to and be like, dude in big, bulky sci-fi knight armor with a chainsaw sword and large guns. Like, who doesn't want to play that? But to me, I'm just glad that we're getting kind of like, the Republic Commando kind of pocket of things where we play as like a elite spec ops team that aren't Space Marines.
Yeah. I don't know how you say that, Vortex. Astares, but it's a TV show, a mini series, Steven, that looks right up your alley. I think it's actually about kind of what y'all are about the Warhammer stuff. I mean, it looks like a game trailer, but it's a show, I think, or a mini series, like they're saying. So, anyway, Vortex and Mike are very excited for you to go watch it.
I'll check it out.
Well, I don't want to go much further down the list. Obviously, there's lots of other things we're looking forward to that are in the fall, but I feel like at this point there's so many. A lot can change going into that, and then there's a lot of things that aren't dated right now. So I feel like we could maybe do another one of these once we get through the summer, especially after Summer Game Fest and all that stuff that's coming. So I think that'll be a better time to go further than this. But anyway, this was just a good little check-in, check-up on where we're at, what we're looking forward to next.
Really, I saw June and I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, one, there's a lot of stuff that's going to bring me back to games. Anna's home. Bring me back to games that I already love. And then two, there's some of those games that don't quite hit that pocket of like my must-haves, like not like top 5 most anticipated, but it's games that I'm just really looking forward to experiencing more of, or just seeing, it's a great
what we're playing next.
It's what we're playing next. It's nothing that will make or break the year, and it's stuff that allows me to revisit games, my favorite games from last year.
Yeah,
it's a great midway point for the year.
I love it. This is turning out to be a really good game year for games.
Yeah,
I'm
very glad, real quick, that Vortex and Mike, you guys have finally connected, because I've been meaning to like get both of you in the same spot talking about Warhammer. So I'm glad you guys are finally making that connection.
Plot twist, Warhammer's not even coming out this year. Steven just threw that out there to get the conversation
Dark Tide doesn't exist. I made it up. And actually, Mike, if you're available at all this week, we talked about maybe streaming last week. Since Jeremy's out this week, I may do an Aliens Fire Team stream with Mike at some point to give you a break, Jake.
Well, that sounds like something y'all should do Saturday, because I'll be shooting a wedding.
Okay. I will not be here Saturday.
Oh, well.
I just realized I'm not going to be here Friday.
Guys.
I'm not going to be here Friday or Saturday. We're going on a baby moon with the dogs. Going to a B&B out in Arkansas to hang out.
Cute. Well, anyway, what I was going to say is that's going to do it for tonight's podcast. But of course, we do Chortlecast, our podcast here every Monday night. Usually no later than 8:30, but somewhere between 7:30, 8:30 when we start. We're live on chortlegames.com. That's our YouTube channel. Facebook and Twitter, both at Chortle Games. And then, of course, Twitch, twitch.tv/Chortle_games. Got to remember the underscore there, all right? It's very important. But, of course, we do the podcast every Monday, but we usually live stream throughout the week. Typically, we do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sounds like this week we might need to be a little bit of adjusted schedule. So we'll talk about that and plan that out.
Yeah, we can maybe do a Tuesday or a Wednesday and a Thursday, and just leave. If you're up for a Friday that you do solo, maybe you do that. But Saturday's going to be a no-go.
Maybe we toss in a Wednesday or a Tuesday to kind of make up for Saturday, but we'll do something Thursday and Friday. So,
well, I won't be here Friday, so that'll be up to you.
I'll do something Friday.
Sounds good. Play Lake. Play your.
That's honestly
woman drinking coffee in her sweater with a good book game.
It's either gonna be me begging people to come help me beat Elden Ring, or it's gonna be Lake for me. So we'll see. Or I might do one other one that I've got to go back to and do is Far Lone Sail. I got to finish that. So anyway, gonna be good. Lots of good stuff to do. So be sure to tune in, follow us, and subscribe to all those platforms wherever you like. And that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Which maybe tomorrow or Wednesday.
Maybe sooner than you think. Bye.